I hope you all are doing well. Kids are unable to go to school or participate in activities outside of the home, and they are experiencing significant losses. Even young children with little or no idea of current events are sensing the anxiety of those around them and trying to adjust to new routines, new normals. The kids cannot always articulate their feelings and are less developed in their ability to problem solve. And as a result, their stress, their anxiety can show up as disruptive behavior, non compliance, tantrums, and trouble falling asleep. In the past 1 month, I have noticed a trend in my sleep clinic. At Sleep Moksha, I split my time seeing and treating adults and pediatric sleep cases. Over the past 2 weeks, children who had previously been napping and sleeping through the night are suddenly having problems sleeping. And because kids are not sleeping, parents are also not able to sleep. So it's not just the sleep patients per se. And lately, everyone seems to be having sleep complaints. Pediatricians are seeing widespread sleep disturbances among other problems in children during the pandemic. And as a result, I'm getting queries from parents, and I have noticed several recurring themes. One common issue is that children are shifting their sleep schedule later, which is resulting in troubled kids and stressed parents. On the other hand, there are teenage children who are sleeping later but feeling well rested. Getting up late isn't necessarily bad, especially for teenagers. But when we talk about younger kids, is isn't really the best thing for them because two things can happen here. One, they can push into the only downtime left to stress parents. Second, developmentally talking, research suggests that later bedtimes are tired. They are tied to lower long-term cognitive performances in younger kids. A British team looked at 10,000 7-year-old kids and found that those who were consistently sleeping later than 9 p.m. in early childhood, they had difficulties in reading and math in elementary school. What I'll suggest is that if your child's schedule is drifting later, keep the schedule to 1 hour or 2 hour for teenagers, but not more than that. Longer sleep related shifts will be harder to unwind when this all gets over. Also, stop screen time about 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime, since intense close up light exposure in the evening will further push sleep later by suppressing the secretion of melatonin, a sleep hormone. Likewise, I'll suggest don't close your child's curtains or shades, since natural morning light will help them to wake up naturally in the morning and take a walk or play outside first thing to start the day with. That will help manage their circadian rhythms better. Second sleep issue, what many parents are complaining that kids are waking up in the middle of the night and visiting their parents' bedroom more than before. Now, this is a clear sign of stress. It's a sign that your child is feeling anxious and is struggling to process his or her big emotions. This 3-year-old kid, she started waking up in the middle of the night for 2 to 3 hours at a stretch. And mother was very worried and she called me up. I discussed the case with her and found out that she and her husband were talking about coronavirus news the whole day. The only suggestion I gave was to stop talking about coronavirus news around the child, and that made a big difference. The child is not waking up anymore and is falling asleep fine. So, the point that I'm trying to make here is that we must understand that even when your children are playing quietly by themselves in the living room, they are absorbing all what adults are saying, and watching news can be stressful for some children. See, as it is children, they have a lot to grieve about. They are grieving about missing school, seeing their, friends going out to play. Some of them are grieving about missed birthday parties. So here I'll suggest acknowledge these losses and try to find alternatives. If your child is sad about not being able to have a birthday party, try arrange a Zoom call, with his or her friends and teachers and family around. Third sleep issue, parents are seeing a lot of behavioral issues, tantrum throwing, and other conflicts around bedtime or naps. See, although we are giving a lot of time to our children these days, especially working parents, we are spending all day with our children, but that does not necessarily mean that we are giving them quality time. We are bouncing between teleconsults, webinars, Zoom calls, video conferencing. We have to keep up with virtual schooling. We have to prepare food and keep the house going. And all this can leave your child feel neglected and needier than ever before. And this is especially happening during the bedtime or nap time, and they're trying to push it back. A kid who's refusing to nap poses a big obstacle for parents who are trying to work remotely. I understand. But you have to understand that if your child is demanding more attention at nap time or bedtime, you have to carve out more quality time with him or her during the day. I know it can be difficult, but try having breaks where you focus entirely on your child, even if that is for 10 to 15 minutes, and that will significantly reduce your child's neediness and clinginess. If your child is older than 2 and refusing to nap, which is happening to a lot of kids these days, it's okay to enforce 30 minutes of quiet downtime, even if you have to resort to giving them a screen. So, to all the tired and struggling kids and parents, I will say take one day at a time, choose your battles, and have a routine. Kids want predictability, structure their day, create and maintain a consistent bedtime routine. Physical activity is a must, especially outdoors, and it will help with all these issues that we just talked about. When kids don't exercise, they have restless lives. I've seen that in my practice. Tire your kids out, play tag, take a long walk, have a dance party with your family, and this will help everyone sleep better. Well, if you have any specific sleep related query for your child, feel free to DM. That's all I have for you now. Take good care of yourself and sleep well.